Express.
What you want people to call you?
MS.V. Be your part-time love, but that as far as I go. To be your part-time fool will be stupid. I love her to love.
What's up? You can keep talking about pour the shot.
And pour that shot, boy. Pour that shot. Drink it. Drink it.
Why do you look like you're captured?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody till infinity.
Hit that note, boy. Hit that note. I know that's right. I have a sing on my hands. I'm sober. La 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 la. Do 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 do.
You go too far.
I want to get that part so bad.
I got the rollie on my wrist and it's glistening. I don't think that they're listening. I could hear the snakes in the grass and they're hissing.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler Xavier, and I'm back, and I'm better. You know, I obviously have taken the longest break from YouTube and social media in general for a good reason, and this video will pretty much explain that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna make this a really long drawn out video, and I know you guys have seen the beginning of the video, and I kind of want to jump into it, that way, you know, you can, it's just not like a suspense thing, because it's not about that. Before I get into everything though, obviously, like, subscribe, I don't even care at this point, right, today. But this is probably going to be one of the hardest videos, the most somber videos that I've made. And, you know, for the most part, like, if you know me, I really like keeping things upbeat, funny. If I have to be, like, shady or whatever, I like the good positive energy, but this one, you know, isn't necessarily the most positive. I won't say that. It's not negative. It's more of a celebratory situation, right? With that being said, I'm really going to try to get through this whole video without getting emotional or like crying or anything like that, because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm gonna turn on the camera and cry in front of the camera and da da da. I think that's fake. However, I'm an emotional person by trade, or by trade. Is that what it's called? I don't know, but I'm just someone that's pretty authentic. You know, I would like to think, and I'm pretty honest. And the only reason I am doing this video is not for sympathy, not for any prayers or anything like that. For one, is because a lot of you guys have experienced my mom, as you guys may know her as MS.V. You guys seen her in a lot of videos that we did on the channel. If you know me personally, you got to experience her as maybe another mother figure. So, you know, I do think that it's pretty much time to talk about it. And because outside of this, I probably won't speak on it, because my mom doesn't really, she didn't want that, doesn't want that. But at this point in time, I think I'm pretty safe to do so. And yeah, so just to not prolong it any longer, so my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I'm not too sure on the dates, because, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna give you a whole story time of everything, but I want to say at least in 2022 she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and as time progressed, it spread to her brain, so then she had brain cancer. And now we are at the point to where she could transition at any time. So she's at home hospice, and you know, we're just kind of writing it out and making sure she is as comfortable as she can be. So yeah, that's that's pretty much what the video is going to be about. Just my journey about it, how I found out, what's next, why I took the break. So yeah, well, let's just kind of get into it. All right, so pretty much, as you guys know, I moved to Atlanta in 2022, in April. And when I moved to Atlanta, I jumped right into like acting and doing background for stuff. And then, as you guys know, I was getting myself acclimated in the Atlanta kind of lifestyle for my career. And as you guys know, it's like acting, social media, and just personality stuff. So then, quickly after I did the Revolt Summit, and then I did Beat the Bomb. I was also in school at the time, trying to obtain my master's in business administration. So I had a lot going on in the year of 2022. What I didn't know is that my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she just did not want to tell me because of how I internalize things. So I don't know if that's the right word. And by the way, this is not going to be the perfect video. I might make not a lot of edits. I just really want to get the information out so that way it's just there. But so she didn't want to tell me because she said that I was going through, or I was doing a lot. You know, I was here and there. Oh, I did praise this. I did this. You know, I was just in my moment, and she didn't want anything to ruin that because I'm a very emotional person, and y'all know I'm a mama's boy. So she just didn't want anything to stop that or ruin that. And so, you know, she knows why I moved to Atlanta, and I'll get to that conversation in a minute. And she just wanted to make sure I was protected and make sure I kept fighting for what I was fighting for. So after I graduated, as you guys know, I did the Elite Battle ATL, which I'll touch on later. And I still didn't know. That was in January. We filmed for like 3 weeks in January. That's where I met Ty as well. So all's cool and dandy. At this point, most of my family knew. So my sister Nene knew, who you guys saw on the channel. My other sister knew. My cousins knew. You know, stuff like that. I just didn't know yet, and everybody was sworn to secrecy. Okay, everyone said, "Do not tell Tyler because of X, Y, and Z," which just shows how selfless my mom is. She's wanted to make sure that I was protected in my feelings and things of that nature. So it came, you know, months passed. I went down to Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I'm from, stayed there to visit, and this is when she told my sister Nene that she was going to let me know. However, I was telling her I was going to New York with Ty, and I think around May. We were, right? Okay, so yes. I was going to New York in April. However, the week before, she had a cookout. Or a week or so before, she had a cookout. And that's when she told my sister and everyone that she was going to tell me. Because she, you know, obviously I needed to know, right? This is now 2023. So last year. I went to the cookout. Everything was fine. She never told me. So my sister Nene called a couple days maybe before I was going to New York, and she was like, have you talked to mommy or anything like that? And I was just like, I talked to mommy, da da da. And so Nene just told me, she was like, all right, well, I gotta tell you this because she said she was gonna tell you, and I know you need to know. And she told me that my mom's diagnosis, right? And she didn't want to tell me then because I was going to New York, so it got pushed back again. So when my sister told me, I had a whole week of just a lot of emotions, right? The first person I told was Kayla, and I didn't even tell Ty yet. So it was a lot for me. So, you know, I went to New York. When I got back to New York, my mom called me, and she said, Tyler, I gotta tell you something. I have cancer. I'm gonna be okay. And I didn't tell you because of these reasons. And, you know, this is it. And she was like, don't be upset with me, things like that. And of course, I was like, I would never be upset with you, but just know, nothing that I'm doing, nobody is more important than your health, and I should definitely know that. But I'm not upset. I get why you said it, and the secret's finally out. I was like one of the last people to know. She told me at that time, do not tell anyone. And then she said, well, actually, you can tell Kayla because she's your best friend, and you can tell Ty since you guys went to New York together. So obviously, y'all are gonna be friends, right? So I'm like, okay, great, cool. So I let them know, and when my mom told me, my reaction was a little bit different. I ended up Googling what stage 4 cancer is, the life expectancy. That really fucked me up. I was having dreams, I couldn't sleep, I was crying, things like that. And then shortly after I was told is when I got into my car wreck. So everything was just a lot going on, right? So as soon as I find out, things progressed. It's getting to the point where, you know, things are different. Things are just different. The week and okay. Okay. The week before Thanksgiving of 2023, I went down there because it was my niece's birthday. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it to Thanksgiving because it was just a lot of back and forth, but I want to make sure I was there for my niece's birthday. And this was the last couple days that I acknowledged that my mom was my mom, right? As soon as I got to Fayetteville, she was staying with my elder sister, Nisha. And as soon as I got to Fayetteville, I went to go pick her up so we can go back to our home and she could be there with me while I can, you know, help her get medicine together and things like that, right? When I picked her up at my sister's house, I just knew, you know, things just weren't the same. I mean, they were, you know, she looked okay, she looked good, she looked great. But clearly she was losing weight, and I just didn't know how to talk to her without trying to, like, burst out in tears at that time, right? Because I was just like, this is brand new. I don't know how I could even fathom this is happening to, like, my mom, right? So, sorry. I got my mom to the house, and I spent the night. We slept on the recliner and the couches together. That next morning was a Saturday, I believe. We went upstairs. Well, I woke up. She was in her bed, and we were watching TV. And I woke up. I got us breakfast, and we decided to watch Dancing with the Stars. So I don't know if you guys know. I'm sure you guys know. My mom and I relationship. We are homies. Like, we are. She's one of my best friends. We travel together. We drink together. We party together. But one of our things to do was watching Dancing with the Stars together, right? And I remember we would just watch all the episodes to catch up, and we're just talking, watching, laughing. And she's really good at Dancing with the Stars. So she'll be like, oh, this couple didn't do good. They're rated. They're going to get these scores, and she'll be spot on. 9 times out of 10, she will be spot on, right? And that's just something that I will always remember, because that was something that we used to do, right? And I loved spending that time with her at that time, and I will always cherish that, right? So yeah, we also had a conversation. And this conversation will forever stay with me. She asked me, she was like, have you ever thought about moving back? And I was like, you know, maybe. She didn't know this, but I'm going to touch on this in a minute, but one of the things that I felt guilt about was that I was in Atlanta while she was fighting for her life in North Carolina. And I understand she has other family members, right? I mean, she has other children. But my mom and I relationship is just very different. Like, very, very different. I'm a comforting soul. And I know for a fact she finds comfort in my eldest sister and Nene. But I just can speak for our relationship, and we're just synced. We're everything to each other. You know, we shop together. When we get dressed, she's like, Tyler, how's this look? I put her up on her skincare game. Shout out to Kills. And everything, you know what I mean? Like, we just have that relationship. But she was like, I don't ever want you to move or stop what you have going on or change your life for me, because I'm okay. And she said, she said that what makes her proud and what makes her okay is that when her children are doing okay. And, you know, she knows why I came here. She knows my career path. And when I was younger, maybe she didn't believe in it or anything like that, but she told me she was proud of me. Ew, this is... and that she, oh. Have you seen Real Housewives of Potomac? Y'all know Candace Dillard? That girl fold that and be like this. Do you guys watch that? I like Candace a lot, but I would never do this because I don't wear makeup. So it's like, what's the point of this? But I just did it just then just to be funny. Anyway, like, you can't stop because you got to take us to Paris, right? And, you know, I think I just felt comfort and I felt validation that I shouldn't feel guilty for living here and being far away because I just have a bigger picture. Like, anything could happen. And the fact that she said she was proud of me was something that I just will never forget because it's full circle. When I was younger, y'all, I got hell for wanting to do the career path that I wanted to do. And I still don't really know the direct career path because so many things have changed. But the fact that she said that she was proud of me just was everything. And that next week, things changed dramatically. And to me, I knew that last week God waited for me to get home, for me to have one last conversation with my mom as herself. Because that next week, that Thanksgiving week, she couldn't speak. It was hard for her to talk. The cancer was getting aggressive. It spread to her brain. Her hair, you know, she had dreads. Dreads started falling out. She had to cut her hair. And now we're in December, and we're at Christmas, and I'm seeing in front of my eyes my mother not being able to walk, not being able to talk, not being able to fully use the bathroom by herself at all. So, you know, it was a lot of life changes for me. And that was very hard for me. Like, very hard to see in front of my eyes. To where I could not look at her. And then we get to January of 2024, this year. Things are progressing. We get to March of this year after her birthday. And she has to go to the hospital. She's, you know, things are not looking good. And at that point, she got diagnosed. I'm not even going to pretend like I can say it, but I'll put it on the screen over here. I'll put it like over here. She got diagnosed with this disease, which is a very rare disease. And pretty much what it is for layman's terms, the blood and the stems and everything of the cancer travel to the bloodstream to your brain. And, you know, at that point, it's no cure. So she got put on hospice at home. So as I said in the beginning of the video, we are just making sure she's comfortable and transitioning, and make sure her transition is as peaceful as possible for everyone, you know? I went to go see her a couple weeks ago, and I think it's going to be my last time just because I don't like seeing her that way, and I'm at peace with our relationship. I don't need to see her in that way. I don't want to remember her in that way, and I will forever never acknowledge her in this way because this is not who I know to be my mom. This is a temporary moment of my mom, of MS.V, that I just don't really want to remember. And all I want to remember is that last week before Thanksgiving in November, because that is special to me, and I will forever only acknowledge that. So when I did go see her, I haven't been home in a minute, and she said, boy, boy, boy. And she gripped my wrist very, very strong. So she knew who I was. And you know, I was like, hey, I love you. She's like, I love you too. And it's hard for her to speak, but she will get out some stuff. And I was like, your skin looks good. You been using my Kills? You been using Kills? And she was like, yep, I've been using Kills. And so there's just little things that I know that she knows. And I was like, we got to get up in foxtrot, which is a dance from Dancing with the Stars. And then, you know, she laughed, she smiled. So I had a good time seeing her with the rest of my family. That is what I've been going through. And why I had to step away. So mentally and emotionally, I have not been the best, right? I'm okay right now. But when I first found out in 2023, it really... Hey, Velvet. Okay. First of all, let me tell you guys about Velvet. Hi. Yes. She has been the best dog. Now, y'all know, if y'all met Velvet before, y'all know this girl's annoying. She likes to run around, do everything, but sit down. She likes to growl. But I think she knows what's going on. And she has been the sweetest dog. And I just, so appreciative. I feel like I'm about to again. So appreciative of having an amazing dog like Velvet. So make sure you guys follow her at Velvet Dior on Instagram because, my mental health and my emotional health was very, very weak. And I don't know if you guys seen the video from years ago when I first moved out, but I did not want to go back to that dark place. So at this time, my vice, unfortunately, was drinking, right? I'm not going to speak too much on this, but I do have alcoholism in my family. And when I found out from I want to say it was April, I'll say May up until October, kind of around, maybe before Halloween, I was drinking very heavily. Like bottles of wine, downing bottles of wine. Now I am drinking today, but I'm okay today. But drinking. I was going through the most. And one day, I went out with my friends Brian and Ty, and I went to Ty's job, and I drank some lemon drops, and I wanted to see how I would react, you know, without drinking. So I didn't drink when we went out, and I literally was the most irritable person, antagonizing person. I was rude. It wasn't myself to them, and that's when I realized when I woke up the next day, I said, yeah, this is a problem, and I'm going through it emotionally, and I really, because I'm not that person. I'm a very happy person, friendly person, and also at this time, as you know, I want to say I was doing the reviews and all this stuff like that. So, I just. Yeah, I was not myself. So I told myself that I'm not going to drink until I think it was the whole month of October, or like if I want to drink I will, but I'm not going to drink as much. And I stood strong on that. And I did a whole like month cleanse until my birthday in November. And then, you know, I didn't drink much when I was at home visiting my mom, things like that. So, but what I want to say is that alcohol is not a good vice to have. And I know we know that. And I just wanted to say that because I feel like I'm young. I'm 27. I would have never fathomed that I would be going through this, especially without having kids. That's one thing that I'm upset about, that my mom will not be able to meet any future kids. I mean, she met Velvet. You know, that's my daughter. But, so, you know, I was just going through the motions, and my skin was breaking out. I was gaining a lot of weight. I just wasn't the best person, in my opinion. I was not a good friend. I felt I was ugly. Like I said, my skin, oh my God. And you know how much I care about my skin. It was breaking out. My house was dirty. Dishes everywhere. It was dirty. Like, it stunk. I didn't take the trash out a lot. I was really in a rut. But I knew that I had to get out of it. I had to get back to myself. I eventually bounced back, and I said, Mommy would never want me to live like this. She knows. And then she knows how much I care about my skin, okay? I was stressed out. I was just spending money unnecessarily, didn't have money to pay bills. Like, it was just a lot going on, right? So the last video that you guys saw was the one with me and Teach reviewing the ATO battle, right? I knew if I did not stop, because I knew the episodes that were coming up for the lead battle, and I didn't think I would have been able to censor myself about those people, right? Because those people, the ones that I've been talking about, because there was the last couple episodes, I knew I was in some mess for no reason. I knew the result. Um, I knew everything, and I was going to do reviews about it, and I knew that I was going to be very, very rude to the point where it was going to be disrespectful to an extreme point. Like, I knew what was going to happen. But I decided to just pause on everything because it's not worth it. It was not worth it. I needed to get my mental health together, my emotional health together, the excessive drinking, the weight gain, the skin situation. I just really had to get myself together. So, and go back to me, right? So this year of 2024, I decided that I'm definitely going to get back to me and just get back to being happy, get back to working hard on what I want. You know, what's next? I would say, well, I'll say that for the end. What's next? I am on this like fitness journey. You guys, I'm usually sitting down, but I'm not a big guy, right? I just really want to be at a certain weight. I want to tone up. I want to be, big a little bit. And that's going well. I'm very happy about that. I love my pace on the fitness journey. I don't have a goal. If I don't feel like working out, I won't work out. If I don't feel like eating right. If I want cheat days, I'll have cheat days. But it's more of a continuous thing for me. And it's not a schedule. It's not like rigid. I just want to make sure I'm happy in my body. And that's the plan. So I'm going well with that. I want to be a better friend. I'm traveling more. In May, I will be going to Chicago. And I'm very excited about that. And I want to do a solo trip. I want to go back to New York. Also, the most exciting thing, I think, is I want to start... I want to continue to make my mom proud. And what's been going on and the recent results that's been going on, I have a fire under my ass. Like I have more motivation than ever because I want her to continue to be proud of me. So I'm working on something that I get to release and you guys get to hopefully want to buy. And I'm excited about it. And I've been working very hard, throwing different ideas out. So once I finally can get it together, that's something I'm very, very passionate and proud about. With the YouTube, I know I say this all the time, but genuinely, I want to be way more active. So I'm definitely going to vlog for sure. Even if I don't like it, I'm putting it up. I'm going to be way more consistent. I have been auditioning for different things. This is something that I really want to do. So fingers crossed on anything and everything that I have auditioned for. I also want to be more active on social media, so I want to post more. So make sure you guys follow me on all my social media platforms, please. That's Instagram and TikTok. Hopefully they don't shut TikTok down, but I'm just gonna put Instagram and TikTok up here. And lastly, I want a whole new wardrobe. I want to dress differently, and I want to take pictures. I just want to be more free, be more me. And so you guys will get to see that if you guys follow me on Instagram. But I will post shopping videos, unboxings, stuff like that. So I think to wrap everything up, I really am just grateful to have spent 27 years of my life with the most amazing mother I could ever dream of. And I know I'm at peace with everything. Like, our relationship is amazing. I know she loves me. I love her deeply, unconditionally. And I would never, ever choose another person to be a guiding light in my life. And yes, I'm going to just stop it there before I start crying again. However, I do want to do a couple of shout outs. And I don't know if they know I'm going to do this, but a lot of people have been supportive of me. And I've only chosen to speak about it with certain people until now, the masses. But what I will say is that first, Kayla, my best friend, I don't know if you're watching, I'm sure you are, but I am so appreciative. You are one of the biggest blessings that I could have ever imagined having in my life, especially at this time. And I don't think you guys understand. Like, I do have other friends, right? But I just know with Kayla, she's just so supportive, and she's a praying woman, and she's been through so much with me. She's experienced my mom. My family loves her, and she's just a rock. She lets me cry. She lets me vent. And anytime I need her, she will answer the phone. And I just love her, appreciate her so much, beyond belief, right? I want to do another shout out to Ty. I obviously only met him a year ago. However, he has been another blessing in my life. Someone that I can definitely depend on while being here. And it's divine timing. You know, we have been through so much together as friends. And even though he has been going through his own thing, he's still been there for me. And he just gets it. And it's no judgment. It's no... He lets me speak freely when I want to speak. If I don't want to speak, it's no judgment there. He gets me out the house. Actually, I'm a quick story. Very early on when I found out the diagnosis, when I was going through it, he was there. I told him in New York. And one day, so Ty lives like maybe almost an hour, 45 minutes to an hour away from me, right? One day, his job called him off of work, and instead of going home, chilling, let me tell you something. If someone call you off of work, you want to be like, thank you, Jesus. Let me go to the house, take a shower, chill out, eat, do something for myself. He decided to call me and say, hey, I know you've been going through it. My job called me off. I can come over if you want, bring some wine, we can chill, watch movies. And I was like, yeah, of course. And I didn't know that I just needed that day. I didn't know I needed that day, but clearly I did need it. And that's something I will also never forget. And I'm not slighting anybody else that has been there, because I have talked to other people. I just don't want to name each person, because if I forget anybody, I'm so sorry. But shout out to LJ, shout out to Brian, shout out to Charmisha, shout out to Janae. Those are other people that I confided in about certain situations going on with family and stuff like that. So you guys are also very, very important to me. Just so everyone knows. And I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the future prayers and everything. But the next time you guys see me, I will be in a much better headspace. It'll be a lighter video, okay? And also, and also, before I go, please tell me what you guys think about the new intro, the new channel pictures, the new color schemes. Listen, we are going up. I am elevating. And thank you guys so much for staying through this video. I love you guys. And until next time.
Please subscribe. I appreciate it.
Please what?
Subscribe.